There are enemies that want to take away our dignity and freedom, that will harm us and our allies if given the chance. It takes our nation's premier special operators to stop this threat. They must train constantly, evolving their tactics to gain the upper hand. They will plan and practice together. It is known as Emerald Warrior. At Exercise Emerald Warrior, ground superiority begins in the air. This grueling 2-week annual event pairs special operations airmen and aircraft with ground-based special operators and conventional enablers. They must work together, planning missions, honing capabilities, and learning how to capitalize on each other's strengths. The objective? Prepare the units for what lies ahead.
So Emerald Warrior is our air-centric operation that's directed. We conduct it once a year, and it's integral to doing the training that we expect to execute in theater. So we work across the components, the full soft air enterprise, as well as with general purpose forces to support the ground force commanders.
The Special Operations Forces Air Enterprise includes 8 different types of specialized aircraft, which train on precision strike, air mobility, battlefield operations, as well as intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Air Force Special Tactics, Navy Special Warfare, Army Special Forces, and the Department of State exercise as a supporting ground force.
So by working with them in the training environment, we build relationships, we learn languages, we find out techniques, things that we're going to be doing overseas in combat.
The SOF partners joined Army and Navy helicopters, Marine airlift, Air Force conventional aircraft, and medical teams from all services. In total, more than 1,200 personnel and 50 aircraft convened at Hurlburt Field, Florida, to take part in the exercise.
We designed the exercise with Air Force Special Operations Command aircraft and battlefield airmen as the primary training audience. In so many exercises, AFSOC plays a supporting role so that training that AFSOC is trying to accomplish will take a back seat to whoever the primary training audience of the exercise is. In Emerald Warrior, we put AFSOC first and we concentrate on the training objectives for AFSOC. Try to design the exercise to give them a harder problem to solve than what they would do downrange. And by creating that environment here, they get some really applicable training before they deploy.
In order to meet training needs, the exercise planners designed scenario-based events that not only aligned with bilateral training lanes, but also leveraged lessons learned from real-world combat missions.
So we do bilateral training. That's my requirements, your requirements. We do those things together, like fast roping or airdrop. Those sorts of things, and then we come together and do full mission profile training. So the full mission profile was take all those bilateral skills and then come together to do full mission profile exercises. So the full mission profiles look very much like what we do overseas in combat.
Based on real-world kinetic operations, Exercise Emerald Warrior ensures the units receive the most realistic training possible, whether in the air or on the ground.
I think it'd be easy to look at Emerald Warrior and go, oh, okay, they're doing actions on an objective, ground forces and aircraft flying, but what they're missing is all those other things that make it happen. So we replicate a downrange environment here. You know, we use these exercise facilities and tents, so it's really given that realism that you would have downrange.
The full mission profiles begin with the teams receiving intelligence and background information from the simulated task force. From there, they will develop a picture of the situation, and then 48 to 72 hours prior to the mission, the task force will pass on the warning order. This, along with the intelligence, provides the building blocks to execute a mission.
During the course of their planning, they'll determine what other assets do they need. So the ground force may say, well, we're going to need this type of air platform to get us there, this type of platform to provide close air support. They will come together and build this assault force to go out and execute the mission. And it takes a lot of time and very long hours to put all this together.
We're getting all the feeds from the ISR. We're making decisions in the jocks like you would see downrange. We're bringing all of it, and that, I mean, talking to the maintenance folks, integrating them into how we're making decisions here. So when you're fighting through some of those bigger challenges that are affecting your day-to-day operations, you internalize that, you remember it, and that's going to make you better for when you have to go do this real world.
Emerald Warrior also incorporates 16 cost-effective virtual operations, providing the teams the ability to rehearse full mission profiles and to take more risks, to push boundaries and go beyond the scope of live training.
Standby guns. So the simulation is great for us to do things downrange because we get to do it at, not in the real world. So we can pause, we can redo things, and of course it doesn't cost any jet fuel. We can brief relatively quickly. We don't need to generate an airplane. We don't have to spend the money to actually operate what are getting older and expensive to operate aircraft.
In my experience, it sets itself apart basically by bringing together all the services.
So we don't get to work with Apaches that often. This is awesome for us. We're going to be definitely more combat effective.
More equipped and ready to go do a real world job that I'm about to go do. So it's been an amazing experience.
That's really what sets Emerald Warrior apart.
Increasing complexity and uncertainty in the world calls for a primed global response. That response hinges on special operators' ability to rapidly deploy, to apply precision air power, to infiltrate, exfiltrate, resupply, and refuel soft operational elements. But before they can do that, they must train as a joint task force, pouring their efforts into understanding their missions and capabilities. They must train today to be ready for tomorrow.